Zero?
Yeah. Zero is a wonderful thing. In fact,
Hey guys, as I've said before, I'm trying to adjust to life in Laredo, and I'm not going to pick on a race or a culture or a people. I'll just say, as a rule, if I've not, I wouldn't say that my experience in Laredo has been an A. It's barely passing because of my wife. She's made, just being with my wife has made me a better person. So, as far as that's concerned, good on her. But when I do get treated right or have a good experience, I absolutely want to discuss it. I'm going to talk about people that have disappointed me, that I put my trust in, probably tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of different car shops and what they've done, automobile repair shops, and what they've done to disrupt my faith in some people around here. However, I will say that yesterday, last week, I called. As I've said repeatedly, we were hit by an uninsured motorist and lost one of our trucks because we just couldn't afford the. Another bad thing that's happened is when I was ambulanced from, and the only time in my life, I'm built like a Tonka truck, but a vehicle going probably 60 miles an hour, ran a red light, hit my side of the truck, and my kidney was temporarily damaged. At the emergency room, they said that I was bleeding from the kidney, and I ran after the guy. I got out of the truck and I ran after this guy. I didn't care what he looked like. I didn't care how big he was. I wanted to take his head off. I lost it. And I haven't experienced that many times in my life, but as I ran 100 yards to get to him, I kept passing out, and I kept getting back up. And anyway, my wife rode in the ambulance with me to the hospital, and because there was nobody there to take our truck, the city has a relationship with this one wrecker service. I'm not sure the city knows about this guy, but he charges ridiculous rates to get your vehicle back. And on site at his location on Mines Road, I don't know the name of the company, I guess a convenient blockage of the brain. He has a body shop, a service center, and storage, and multiple wreckers. In other words, this is a scheme, and he'll go take your truck and charge you ridiculous storage rates, knowing you can't afford it, and then he'll turn around and he'll auction your vehicle off and make a profit. So we lost our better truck, and I'm trying to save to get into a leasing program that has like 3 different tiers. I'm trying to get into the top tier. I'm hoping to have the money by December, but no later than March next year. But and then we can have any vehicle in the program. And the really good thing about this program is your monthly, as long as you have full coverage, the monthly payments doesn't get any higher, like $400. And we already own a truck. We don't need to own more than one vehicle. And with the leasing program, you have a warranty. Anyway, but I'm trying to save money and keep bills paid and bring the one truck we have back to reliability. So I called every auto shop in the phone book, and they were all just crazy expensive. I was like, really?
now everybody try to find a good hiding place.
Really? And it's just like they were trying to hide. They don't want you to come there or something. I don't know. But I finally got a hold of a place called, my Spanish is terrible, so please forgive me if I make this sound terrible, but his name is Victor Urieta, and he owns Urieta Auto Repair at 600 Milmo. And I all I can say is that it was just, and their number is 956-750-1259. That's 956-750-1259. And it's Urieta Auto Repair. This guy, his rate was better, and I was like, well, I had this other guy, and he's willing to do it for this much. And he was, but that was a bad experience I'm going to talk about also. The guy's a thief and just dishonest and unavailable. Anyway, so I told Derek, I was like, yeah, this guy's willing to do it for this much. Would you be willing to do it for this much? And he's like, yeah, I can do it for that. And so I have a auto supply place on Amazon and both eBay. He's on both platforms, and his auto repair parts are excellent, and he stands by his parts. In other words, I'm going to send my parts back and get my money back. So he still honors his price. I had to pay a little more for a different part because the two parts that one of the parts that I was going to replace, it turned out to be a little yellow from use, but it's fine. It'll last. The other part, the water pump, which is known to wear out in every vehicle because it's constantly abused, needed to be repaired. He showed me the part after the job, and it obviously needed to be repaired. So he went out of his trouble and out of his way to go get the part for me, charged me the price of the part, and even got me a ride back to the shop because we're down to one vehicle right now. And he saved me the 12 or 14 bucks to take an Uber. He went and got me. Who does that? Nobody does that. He's nice, decent. He kept me. He runs a business. Obviously because he's got a reputation of being a good dude. He runs a successful business here in Laredo, and but he was busy. But I'm talkative and I'm chatty and I'm a regular chatty Cathy, girls. I'm a chatty Cathy. But I kept we stayed in contact with each other the whole day, and by the end of the day, when I drove the truck away from the shop, it hadn't driven that well since I've had it. I mean, it probably runs close to like new because of everything. And he didn't just fix what I asked him to fix. He tightened everything up. You know, my wife has had a rear end collision when the truck was practically new, and then last week she hits a wall, so there's this permanent sound, but it's just an inconvenience. He fixed. There's nothing I can do about it without having a body shop do some. The truck's gonna run fine. It's just gonna make that sound. You just have to block it out. But you know, he's not a body shop. He's an auto repair, the internal components of the shop. But I got there and he had the hood open so I could see everything. He showed me what he did, and he was just as nice and decent human being as can be. He is my dad. When I was growing up, he at first he was reluctant because I wasn't really his blood kid, and that's another story. My stepbrother always held a grudge over me because he wasn't the athlete that I am, and my dad and I had a special bond that he should have had with his own son, but he didn't. He had it with his stepson. Therefore, that's why I call him Dad, because after a while he's just like, he's my kid. I don't care. But my dad told me, he's like, Joey, let me tell you something here. One thing I've learned in my time is you need to have guys. I've got a fish market guy. I've got a guy at Tom Thumb who cuts my meat guy. I've got a car guy. I got a boat guy. I got a take me fishing guy. You need guys that you can depend on, that you can trust, that aren't going to take advantage of you, that are going to give you the best price. You need guys. Well, I've got guys. I've got a bike guy and Mario Romo over Twin City Cyclery. I can't afford the cycle right now, but if I whenever I get back into money again, and once I get this money saved up for the leasing program, I'm either going to buy a motorcycle or I'm going to get into a really, really good bike again. This is a cycling jersey. I miss cycling, but it's expensive, and I can't do all the things I need to do right now and keep up a bike. So right now I'm just running every day, 5+. But back to my point, Victor went out of his way to make sure that the experience was positive. He honored his price, and he was just the nicest guy. And then he showed me the water pump that he took off. He went out of he guided me through the whole experience, and he's just the kind of guy that I would consider a new friend. So I just wanted to shout out into UrietaAuto's Auto Repair and just get you guys, all those of you that take time to listen. He works on all different makes and models of vehicles. He's been in business for 18 years. You don't stay in business that long unless you provide a good service to people. You know, the guy that I talked about that I thought was a good dude that lives on site, that also runs a ranch. He just was a disappointment. I'll talk about him later, but Victor was just amazing. Some of the parts I got didn't fit, and he really went the extra mile. He took my vehicle apart to get into it, to fix it. And when I drove out of there yesterday, I was blown away at how much better it drove. And all I know is that I just can't say enough good things about Victor. If you guys want someone that's going to treat you right with your vehicle, that you can trust, and I mean really trust, go for it. Give Victor a call. And like I said, his number is 956-750-1259. It's UrietaAuto Repair, and he'll be fair with you, and he'll do a really, really good job. Thank you, Victor. You made a friend today, brother. If you guys feel like criticizing me, do so in the comment section. If you feel like encouraging me, do so in the comment section. I'll either keep on doing the right thing I did to get encouraged or work on things I didn't do right. But in the interim, let's vote Democrat, get these criminals out of office, we can get our economy back on track. And Jesus loved you, and he knew your name when he was on the cross. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. God bless you, and have a great day.
This old tree is gonna be the base. I'm gonna close my eyes and hide my face and count to 100 by fives.